You know, there's some things you never forget. Your first ball game with your dad, your first kiss, your first oyster, and of course, the first time you ever do a morning show on the radio. It was 20 years ago, and it's hard to believe because I look just the same as I did that morning. December 30th, 1991. A day that's etched in my memory because I woke up that morning with hives. Not allergic to anything. Turned out a day or two later, they disappeared. It was just nerves. I was actually nervous doing a radio show. I'd done thousands of them. Got a lot more to tell you. You better come with me. You guys are buckled up, you know. It's the law. So there it is, first day at the station doing the morning show. And the first songs are really important to DJs. So I chose a song from Speaking in Tongues, Talking Heads. First song I played 20 years ago, morning show. This must be the place. One of my favorite moments was kind of recently. I'm in the studio with Tom Marker and Norm Weiner. We're interviewing U2, the whole band's in there. And near the end of the interview, Bono starts talking about his greatest vocal influence, and it was Peter Frampton. And I go, oh my God, I don't know how much Peter Frampton we have in this section of the library right in front of me. So I'm searching and I'm talking, we're having a conversation at the same time. I'm like scrolling through it, and I'm thinking to myself, well, first of all, what's coming up is Frampton Comes Alive. Some of those songs are 15 minutes. I'm not playing a Frampton Comes Alive 15-minute track even for Bono. So I find Do You Feel Like We Do? And it's like 4.5 minutes ago. Yes, I got it. And we're still talking while I'm looking. And we finish up the conversation. We finish up the interview. It's all gone great. And I say, well, I never thought I'd be playing this request for Bono from U2. But here's Peter Frampton. I go right into the song. We get up and he looks at me, comes over, taps me on the shoulder and says, you're good. Another thing people ask me all the time is, what's the most memorable concert you've ever seen? Hey, you got to remember that I go to hundreds of concerts. I've been to thousands of concerts in the last 20 years. And normally that would be a tough question, but for me it's really easy. I was at a client party in a tuxedo, and I'm driving home, and I'm driving sort of by the area, the double door, and I say, I should just swing by, see what it's like. The Stones are at the double door. And I find a parking place near North and Damon, a miracle in itself. And there are all these people around, and they're all crowded around the club, a lot of police cars, and kind of the area shut down other than that. And I walk up, see a guy I know, works for the concert promoter. I got nothing I can tell this guy to get into this club. It would be great to get in, but he's heard every story there is tonight. He's talking on the cell phone. He says, hey, here's something you don't see every day, Lin Brehmer the tuxedo. And he keeps talking, and it gets a little bit awkward because he knows I want to ask him some kind of question. So he just points to a security guy, points to me, waves me in. And at that crucial time in my life, I did not confess that I did not have a ticket to get into the double door to see the Rolling Stones. So I walk into the double door, and there are the Rolling Stones on stage playing to 300 people, Jumpin' Jack Flash. That's about as good as it gets. Don't worry, the ballet will get it. Like I used to say, playing full court basketball on a breakaway, heading towards the hoop, it's showtime.